new set of lungs.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving to you too.
It's officially the most wonderful time of the year.
Well, this is kind of on the fly, and I'm curious. I mean, I just had an urge just instantly to want to call in and see if we want to chat.
I love it. Yeah.
So, yeah. You guys were kind of on board?
Yeah, we were doing something weird.
What are you doing?
Lauren forced me and some guy
Now
I've
you
never
just
talked
peeked.
to write a song really fast, and I only got one line in,
Lori.
but we got in there.
Lori.
It counts.
Lori. I was on the phone with Nick, and I was like, we have 20 minutes to write this song. And I just saw a word on my computer, and I said, the title is Everyone, what was it? Everyone Loses Sometimes? Was that it, Nick?
It was every winner.
Oh, every winner
Or,
loses.
no, every loser wins sometimes.
Every loser wins. Was the
Yeah,
words I
every
thought.
loser wins
I
sometimes.
said the title of the song is Every Loser Wins. We have 20 minutes. We have to write a verse and a chorus. Yeah.
Oh, gosh. How'd it go?
It went so well, Lori.
Yeah.
But then they were like,
In the nick of time, and it's great.
they're like, I've never been bullied into writing a song. I just got so many like cousin flashbacks. Yeah.
At one point, me and dude was like rhyming too much, and he was like, he went to tell her like, so the way I write is like rhythmically, and she went, why are you telling me this? Write the song. I laughed. I was trying so hard
And
not to
his
laugh
next
right
line,
then. I was
his
like,
next
damn,
line,
like,
Lori, was clock is ticking.
yeah.
But it,
Did you like that or not?
It worked because we can't not. But it worked out. Like the lyrics, do you want to hear them?
Sure, why not?
So the lyrics are, I'm unapologetic. I can't help it. Don't regret it. Got 100 things you'd like to know. You're reactive and they're wasting precious time you put into action. Clock is ticking. I know that you know. I'm watching you waiting for your chance to shine. I'm watching you waiting and I can't decide if every loser wins sometimes or if I'm just lucky every time.
Okay, now that is so
I
cool.
know!
Can you see?
We
Well, now did you
Yeah.
sing it? Oh, can you sing it? Or is that
Oh, there's
me a
an
beat.
instrumental
Give me a
and
beat,
everything.
Nick. Like just with your voice.
I have the beat.
I don't think it's. I'm unapologetic, I can't help it, don't regret it. Got 100 things you like to know. You're reactive and waste some precious time you put into action. Clock is ticking, I know that you know that I'm watching you, waiting for your chance to shine. I'm watching you, waiting, then I can't decide if every loser wins sometimes or if I'm just lucky every time. I'm watching you, waiting for your chance to shine. I'm watching you, waiting, then I can't decide if every loser wins sometimes or if I'm just lucky every time. Na 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 na. I don't know.
Oh God. That just gave me
Here's with
shivers.
some drums. Awesome.
Yeah,
It's gonna be great.
yeah, and it was
Super
That is
fast.
so
yeah, and it was God, that was fun. It was like a challenge. I was like, it's a challenge.
It was like drive-through music, just in a hurry, get it and go.
These adult men, they're like, all right,
Yeah.
the coolest people.
Dang.
Those are the kind of friends you need.
Uh,
Isn't that amazing that it turned out like that?
well, that's the coolest way
Oh my
to start
gosh,
your morning.
it was so
Come
amazing.
on. So is that why you said yes to the podcast? Is that why you said, okay, I'll work this
I have no
morning?
idea.
I'm
We were-
already
we were
working.
in, yes. Hurry up, you guys. We have 20 minutes to do a podcast. How podcasty can we make it in 20 minutes? It's 8:51.
That's the best thing ever.
1, 2, 3 podcast.
Podcasty. Can we make it in 20 minutes?
Well, I woke up this morning. I don't know. I just got this urge. I just listened to our podcast again. Kind of like, okay, so I got to work on my ums. Too many of those. And then I got a text from our family. That was like, okay, Lori, how are you going to handle this?
Me too. I got a call from my mom
I was so happy. I was like, I was in this space. I just listened to, you talking, and I was just in such this great space. And so it wasn't a better time I could have read a text from my family.
Sweet.
I was like, dude, you are not going to get anything but love out of this. Like, I am such in a good mood. Yeah. So then I was like in this good mood, and I'm like, maybe Lauren and Nick are available.
Yeah. You know what that reminds me of, Nick, is Bryant just did this thing where he looked up the word social butterfly. And he's such a smart guy, but he looked it up as if it was a new word. And I was like really confused at first. Like I didn't understand what was going on. And maybe I was just like in songwriting mode. But then I learned so much after like they expanded on it. And was like, some people don't see being a social butterfly or spreading your wings as a positive thing. And he was kind of,
oh my gosh.
I know,
really?
right? And I like, it took me like way too long to understand. I was like, what are you asking? I didn't understand. I was like, what? He's like, oh my gosh, like, you guys, I just Googled social butterfly. Isn't that deep? And I was like, I don't understand what's going on.
Now be careful. You make sure you're still recording. you're researching on your
No, I'm not.
computer.
I'm recording. I mean, I am recording.
Oh, okay. Okay. I did not know that. I would have to.
You didn't know what?
Wow. I didn't know that they would do the opposite. Like, how can they take something
Wait,
that's so
who do the opposite?
beautiful and
right?
So I'll explain, Lori. Check it out.
Right, Lori?
So what happens is like he was explaining. Let me explain.
Yeah.
So there's like the teacher's pet aspect, or the like someone who's who sucks up to the boss so they get the promotion and stuff. And someone might see it as that, when in reality they're just naturally more social. They speak up more and are more friendly in that sort of sense. So people see it as a negative in like a hater type of way, where they're like, how is it just natural to them? I'm putting in more work, but they're getting the benefits. Like it becomes like where people feel like, just like how people would say a negative is like the teacher's pet. How they'd be like, oh, you like suck up to the teacher, when it might not even be on purpose. So that's what he was trying to like use as an analogy, was going up a business.
right, okay.
Where someone else might be better for the job, but they didn't speak up and become friends with the boss and all of that.
Aw. Dang. Yeah. Okay, I get it.
Oh, well, now I don't.
One's in
Damn.
the dark and one's in the light. Damn. Yeah. I guess I was just it's funny what you take out of your. Have you ever noticed, like, when you're primed? So this is exactly what happened this morning. So I was primed to see and feel in a particular way because, I don't know, it was just how I woke up. It was the podcast. It was everything. And so I was just primed in this, like, positive way of feeling. I was just feeling this love, And then I get this nasty text, and then I'm like, dude, all you're gonna get is love. It's like you're primed to just see and feel. It's so funny. And then you're talking about this social butterfly stuff. All I could feel was turning into a butterfly. That's
Right?
transformation
Yes.
and love. Yeah.
Turning into a butterfly.
And it's just funny because like if I was in a nasty mood, I'd be like, stupid ass social butterfly.
Stupid ass butterflies.
I'm gonna capture one and
That's
pin
how
it
I get
on my
along with
wall.
the cool kids. I walk up and I'm like, you guys know about those stupid ass butterflies freaking flying around. growing like
Think you're all
yeah.
that.
It's disgusting. They're bugs too. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
I know who you were.
I don't know.
A
I think you
caterpillar.
guys-
And caterpillars are seriously so gross. Lori, remember Spoon Lake? Lori,
Caterpillars are
remember
gross.
Spoon Lake? Used to have the worst caterpillar. Oh my gosh, it's so bad. They used to just like, seriously, like that handle going down the steps. Like you'd think it was just like trees around on a handle, but it was actually, oh
Oh,
my
those-
gosh, it was actually all caterpillars. And it used to shock me when I was a kid. Those are butterflies. Those are butterflies. Just so everybody knows, those
Those
that's
are-
disgusting. So don't put your hand on a railing that looks like trees, because those are butterflies disguised as worms.
That is fucking terrifying. When I was a kid, I was scared to death of butterflies, and you just gave me nightmares. Now I'm gonna be again. I'm gonna see one
Alright.
and just run. I'm gonna start
Nick-
screaming.
I know.
They're gonna cover my
So,
house.
Nick, you're
It's gonna
afraid
look
of-
like a tree. I'm sorry, I got carried away. I mean,
No.
I'm terrified of them. I'm serious.
I know,
I
but
used to
now you
run
got
from
me
them.
feeling that way too, because they are crawly, and seriously, like I feel like they really,
And that's
really,
illogical.
Like,
I know,
so
like
gross.
people be like, they can't hurt you, but yeah, they can. I think they can. I think you're fucking lying.
So
They'll
you
crawl
had a-
on you.
You had a
Get you.
caterpillar. You had a caterpillar problem too, Nick.
Well, no. Here's the thing though. Is I was cool with the caterpillars. It's when they turn into fucking butterflies. So her
Shut
being
up, Nick.
creeped out
Shut
by the
up, Nick.
caterpillars
No,
just
no.
creeped me out even
You
more.
just said no. I can't. No.
Yeah.
I'm sick of opposite.
Yeah.
way. No, we're not playing.
It's a phobia.
This is seriously, Nick. Honestly, this is just like
Terrified.
deodorant day. Are you serious? Because, okay,
What do you mean?
are you serious? You think female deodorant is stronger, and you dislike butterflies, but you're cool with caterpillars. Like I don't even.
No. Here's
Okay.
the thing. When I was a kid, I could just walk away from a caterpillar. Caterpillar can't get me. A fucking butterfly will panically try to land on you repeatedly like
no,
it wants you, and
Nick,
I'm like, get away.
Nick, butterflies don't actually chase. I don't understand. I don't think they do. That's.
Butterflies have. Did you know we have a thing at the Louisville Zoo where you can walk into this fucking room that's like thousands of giant ass butterflies? That's an exhibit, and people
No, maybe you
pay
shouldn't
and
have
go
gone
there.
there,
And I
Nick.
swear, like,
That sounds.
I didn't know. I didn't go in though. This was way after the fear. But I like went there and people were going in there, and I just like my one buddy that kind of knew me already knew. He looked over at me and was like, "You don't have to do it, man." He was like, he already knew I was gonna panic. I was like, "Look, if I go in this thing, all of these kids are gonna hate me when I start panicking and killing butterflies, just like swatting at them because they won't leave me alone like a fucking idiot."
Yeah, of course you
I
can't go in that
can't do
room.
it.
That doesn't.
I love how though you had the sense to know that a caterpillar won't get you. I mean, there was some logic that was going on there. You had some
Yeah, I can just
rationalization.
walk away from
I'm-
that. Yeah.
yeah, I'm safe there.
I honestly, I can't even. I honestly tried to put my mind into yours, and I pictured myself at Spoon Lake as your body, Nick. Like, and like,
It
I
makes no
tried to
sense,
picture
does
like
it?
butterflies attacking you. Like, there's seriously nothing there, and like, it doesn't really look good for anybody. So I'm just gonna move on because
It does.
Yeah. Let's just
there's
move
no
on.
attacking butterflies, but I did see the caterpillar. Oh,
It's a strange. So you don't still? Do you still? Is that something that you've carried with you? A butterfly
I mean-
fear, or is
no,
that?
because you never know
No,
when
I've
they're
even
gonna
logically
like
attack.
caught
through-
butterflies in my hand. No, I've like caught
Oh,
butterflies in my hand since then and shit, and like looked at them, but I don't know, man. When I was a kid, there was just a thing there. It was illogical, and I was like, no, this thing is fucking an alien or something. It's weird and little, and it tries to get me. And I know
Bugs are
Lauren
just-
thinks they don't try to get you, but here they like to land on you. People take pictures with them on their glasses and stuff. They like it. It's weird.
That's
I
what
don't know.
Lauren
They
thinks.
taste
Lauren
you or
thinks
something.
that
It's
butterflies
weird.
don't try to get you. That's just that crazy Lauren. Yeah.
Well, I don't
I-
think they
I
try
think
to
you-
kill you
you
and
know-
attack you
Oh
or
my gosh,
anything, but they
seriously?
do like to land on their clothes and stuff here. We have the orange ones with like the black on them.
Yeah.
See, but you'd be so justified, Nick, if you found out that butterflies really did come from aliens. I mean, like, you'd be like,
Oh,
I
see?
told you. Like I told you
I
they
felt
were
it.
If
crazy.
butterflies come from aliens, then so does everything else, because everything is a star.
Oh, I think we
we
do.
all come down from stars, so we're all made of star particles.
We are. And people, it's funny when they take that and they go, ooh, like you're being all weird spiritual. But I'm like, no, it's science. I said that to my sister once. I was like, you know, everything you came from was a star. And she kind of like rolled her eyes. I'm like, okay, I'm not being weird right now. This is something. I watched a PBS channel and it was like, it
Yeah,
explained
do you
the
like
whole
that
thing.
better than just like not existing? Is that just so upsetting to be a star, part of a star? Is that worse than just being part of nothing?
I think it's a trigger. People are like, oh God, star children. Everyone, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I love that your song came together, and I feels kind of like I don't know. I mean, it feels so cool that you did on Thanksgiving.
Right?
I don't know
It
why.
does. It does feel cool.
It does. Yeah, it kind of gives a feeling to the day already,
It does.
and I just
And,
wanted
like,
to
1
expand it
minute-
even more.
It
Like
really
1 minute before that, I just said that I was grateful for that, and then she just magically like forced the song out. I was like, "Oh, cool!" And it's
no,
an
it wasn't
epic,
just
like
me.
really
Like
dope
I
song.
was like, you guys, it's seriously, we have 10 minutes.
Yeah, but that's like what I just said. I was grateful for was how well we worked together, and then you just like proved it right then again.
Yeah, they were like, Lauren, you're
In
so
the same
responsible. And then
conversation.
after we finished the song, they were like, that was bullying.
You're like, yeah,
Yeah.
no. That's, yeah, I enjoyed that a lot. I hope
Okay,
people-
so bullying is a negative. So if you bully somebody into doing something positive, are you still bullying? Or is
It
it some sort
depends.
of like, or is it some sort of like aggressive motivation, like forceful motivation? Is it a different thing?
Well, here's what's
I'm pretty sure that if you were being a little bit lenient in a positive way, the verbiage would be different than bullying somebody.
well. I
No,
think
she
we were
was
friends
being
enough
really
that they were
positive.
making
It
a
just
joke.
felt forced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. Now, okay. So just to be fair, Nick is afraid of butterflies. No, I am a bully,
Right.
but
We've
Nick is
established
also
that.
afraid of butterflies. Those two things are both real. So
You know,
Nick
we're
has
not
been
just
bullied
I
by
hope we're not going around the table.
butterflies. Nick, I asked Nick, do you want to do this? And he said he wanted to do it again. Right, Nick?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Nick, you're seriously reacting like you have Stockholm. No, you have to.
No, like I really did.
He's kind of setting you
yeah.
up.
Oh, yeah, that's funny.
No, I'm not.
That's funny, Nick. You know
Not
what'll
on
happen later.
purpose. That's not. Oh, what?
No, I'm just kidding.
Damn.
No, I said, do you want to do this? I said, do you guys want to play a game?
Yeah, that's what it really was. Do you want to play a game? And then we was like, sure. What kind of game? And it was like, write a fucking song right now. I'm just kidding. It wasn't like that. It wasn't- write the song.
Yeah. But it was amazing.
She got so focused though that at one point Brian was like, we're on a different time zone than you, right? And she went, that's okay, figure that out and write the song.
Yeah. That's how it works.
I just thought it was. I think we recorded it actually.
Yeah, we did. We recorded us all talking about it.
I was recording.
Yeah. And then we talked about
So
the
we
hero's
can,
journey a
like,
little bit too.
have a
And we talked
special-
about mentors. And, right, Nick?
Yeah.
Lori, I feel like
Yes.
mentors, like along the journey, you have people that come in and they're, important people in the journey. I definitely think that,
Well, something that made me think about it way back when was I had a professor that brought up, you go in and chat with your professor one-on-one sometimes. And he, he's an old guy, love the guy. And he would say, he goes, I've been looking for a mentor my entire life. And he goes, I just can't find somebody that I look up to higher than me.
Oh, wow.
And I just thought about that for a while. I was like, I mean, because when people say things, your instant reaction, or my instant reaction is like, do I do that? And I had to admit, I was like, well, I've been trying to find somebody, but I don't know if I find one person that I can hold on to, but it seems like you find like little angels along the way all the time, little mentors that
help you in the moment, and people you can rely on in different ways. And like, I think it's kind of unfair to both parties if you pick somebody to be your mentor for life, because that person is a person who changes.
Well, a real teacher, even a counselor, however you want to put it, even a shaman is supposed to release you.
Yeah.
You're supposed to, and it's at your most vulnerable time that they release you. And it's kind of you're at this blank slate, so they gave you what they had, and they're like, okay, like a real mentor doesn't really stick around.
Mm-hmm.
Because then you're always having a crutch. But I can't say I have. I mean, I have you and my brother. But I mean, and then Teresa came in my life. It seems more like people just kind of come in and out of my lives, because most of my friends are people that, they're people like me. They change jobs, they buy businesses, they sell businesses, they move, I'm gonna go to Alaska and make $1 million. Those are the people that come in and out of my life.
Lori, one thing I didn't notice about the table of the hero's journey is that there's an arrow that goes call to adventure, and you can refuse the call, and it goes straight across and then up around again. So you stay in that first third.
Oh,
Do you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, you and I've talked
I
about
never
that
really
before.
saw that table that way, or really.
Well, I've never really looked at.
Or really understood that you could actually refuse the call. Like, I just kind of ignored it because I was so.
Oh my gosh! Come on.
Sorry.
Haven't you, like, it's not. She thinks the whole person. Oh God, you're only sensitive. You can't be sensitive. You just wrote a song. You'd be feeling very confident.
I'm not confident about this. I really didn't know. If I should have known, I really didn't see it.
Well, I don't know about knowing, but when you bring that up, it definitely, I mean, those are things that come up. It's like you have a situation, and haven't you ever been in a situation where one person's like, okay, isn't that when you turn into a bully? It's like, okay, this is right here, right now. Like, this is the inspiration is right here. You're going to miss out. It's like, I don't want to miss out.
Maybe I should work on understanding that, but maybe I shouldn't, because.
But it's not really you. I mean, it's not really.
But noticing
us, really.
when other people ignore things, like, what does that really do? What does that really do?
Well, I just was saying it's a phase in my life. Like, if you're trying, when you're going through this stuff, and I'm not saying now, but when you're going through this along the path, there's a lot of self-doubt, and you see people fall away. And for me, I was like, oh wow, am I supposed to fall away? Like, this seems like, because that's what it feels like. You're branching out, you're going where, most people wouldn't go. And so a lot of people just kind of, you can feel them pull back. And it's that self-doubt, questioning, looking around, you're alone. Should I really be doing this?
Yeah.
And sometimes it's no. Like, maybe you shouldn't have done that, Lori. But that's really when I kick in. I'm like, no. If everyone's falling back, I usually lean in even more. I'm not sure if that's good in all circumstances, but it's just how I am.
It's natural, I think, too. More natural than we think.
It is, that lean. Well, now I have I have too many of these experiences behind me of, like, how amazing it turned out. that even if I don't have a witness, like I'll lean in again. Like Mike just said last night, my husband just said this last night. We were watching some show, and this girl was just like all in, and Mike goes, "Yep, that's what I deal with." And she's just going, "I don't know if I should be doing this." And Mike's like, "Yep, story of my life." So.
Yeah. I looked into, did you look into that game at all, Lori? There's a game.
I Googled it, but no. Did you look into it more?
I just saw that it's a game. But I didn't look into it further. But I did see there were some notebooks. Like, they said the hero's journey for each goal. Which is so interesting, like, the way that there's not a lot that people have done with the hero's journey. But it's kind of interesting to think of each little goal. A way to really achieve a goal would be to journey it out, right? But that sounds, I mean...
Well, I just think the path happens is automatic. I think it's a human evolutionary process. And it's just one way that someone articulated it. But I just think if you... like people, that's why Joseph Campbell became so famous, because he wrote that book and people are like, weird, that's exactly what happened to me. If you read that book and it hasn't happened to you, it just feels like a story. The words just kind of come off the paper and in and out of your brain. But I think it became so popular because people felt, wow, you just articulated the most impactful thing in my life,
Yeah. I wonder if it's possible that, I'm sure it's possible, that some people feel even more connection to, or even more meaning to more stories than others. Like, they almost start to see nothing as just a story.
Yeah. I think if you can feel it, if those words come alive, I think that's everything. Or that it makes you think. This sounds stupid, but like
No.
back, it does feel weird to me, and maybe you'll come up with something, but I really haven't found a solution. So I had a friend, a coworker, 10, 15 years ago, and the thing that he liked was, he's like, "Man, you really make me think." And I'm all, is that a positive thing? I was like, what is it that, because I really kind of grew up on, or did my spiritual journey with Eastern religions, So I'm thinking, like, why is it?
Yeah.
Like, why is it good that someone made you think?
Huh. I think it's good for me because I like to think. If that person if that person says you make me think and they mean it in an annoyed way, then that person doesn't belong in your life.
Well, it's supposed to be a positive thing. People say, well, it's good that someone made you think. I'm like, I just would expand that out. Think about what? Like, what exactly, I just didn't know what that was all about, because the Eastern religion is like no thinking, nothingness, get into the nothingness, and the brain is nothing, your thoughts are nothing, and I remember reading back when Christians just get all mad about it. I shouldn't pick on Christians. I'm sorry, y'all Christians, but just people kind of have an offense to that. It's like, thinking is important. I'm like, well, yeah, I know thinking is important, but we do that all the time. So, I listened to, do you ever listen to Eastern stuff? Like last night I was listening to, Jay Krishnamurti.
I once in a while do,
So
but
there's a
it's
lot of-
hard because their accent trips me out pretty hard. I'm serious. I'm serious, but I like some of the things they say, just I can't hear what they're saying sometimes.
Well, what the chat usually is. It's weird because I listened to Jay Krishnamurti, and his whole topic was about how just consciousness and the one, like, what is consciousness, and are all human brains all one brain? Anyways, I really can't go through the whole thing because it was an hour and a half of stuff. But it's weird because the teachers over there, usually when they make me think, it's like I'm not thinking about anything. To me, they make my thoughts stop more than
When I think of
you know.
the words "you make me think," if somebody was going to say that, I think of somebody re-looking at their assumed beliefs and values, and maybe taking a second and being like, wait, is that why I should do, why do I do that? That's what I think of with thinking. Like, you make me second guess something that I assumed. That's what I think.
Yeah, and to me, like, it's just my bad hardwiring. Because, like, to me, that's kind of like a trigger. I'm like, I'm not trying to change how you think. I don't know. It's probably a stupid question, but I sat on that for a while. I'm like, do I really want to be someone who makes you think? I mean,
It
I don't
is
know.
not your job to decide what they do with what you give out,
yeah.
right?
Right.
I mean, it's tough. Like, I have to keep reminding myself of that because it's so easy to trip on.
It's weird because now, talk about tripping. I'm going back and forth between, like, the old me and me now. Because, like, what you just said right there is like, yeah, of course, that's me right now. But I kind of flip back because I think it's good to, like, describe how things feel when you're going through certain stages. And I kind of flipped back, trying to work on my hardwiring. Was I would flip back and forth in between, okay, I'm doing all these meditations, I want to be loving, I want feedback that says that I'm loving.
Yeah.
and someone says, you make me think. I'm like, whoa, oh crap, like, I'm not sure if I'm being disruptive in your world. Like, I don't know, I'm sure I expanded that too far, but it was like, am I being disruptive in your world because I want you to be you and on your own path, and what is it? Maybe it's just a lack of ability to take a compliment, I guess.
Right.
It could be as simple
So
as
what if, last night with Bryant and Nick, we were talking at a certain point and they were both like, you could just tell that they were freely grateful for me, and I was freely grateful for them. And it was so, like, I was like, whoa, like, I have friends like this. Like, I'm like, wow. Because I decided to remember it because I can see how easy it is to feel misunderstood, or like, oh, like, no one gets me, or to take one little thing and that be like something that makes you feel a certain way. But, like, who has friends like that? No one. Like, some people. Like, that is something that is, it's a given and receive. Like, that's a beautiful thing that I didn't expect out of this whole thing. But it is. And, like, the way that we can talk like this, and even when I sent that to Bryant before all of us started talking, he texted back and he said, I love, like, Lori's voice, and I love your voice, and I love the difference. And he said it was so funny that Lori said, I'm Lauren. He said, you guys intrigued me right away. And I was like, wow. Just that.
what a nice thing
It was
to
just
say.
such a nice thing to say. And I'm like, man, what a lucky thing to get somebody who can just say that.
Just be like,
See, but he was. See, that's back to the prime thing. Like, what a loving heart. Because I was, depending on what my state of mind was in, you know, I'm listening to that. I'm like, that is really, someone could really say these girls are a bunch of idiots. She just called herself the other, you know, or
he
but
loved
to find
that.
the
He was
humor
like,
in it.
he was
and-
like more humor. He's like, you guys have to. And he loved the Nick saying, yeah,
I
that
just-
I'm a hitchhiker. They picked up on the side of the road. He loved it, and it was so kind and honest.
Yeah. Well, that stuff will hopefully just flow in and flow out. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, there'll be times when I'm on here. I'm pretty sure the way, because I kind of forget we're recording, and we've talked so many times that I kind of get into the zone of it's just you and me, and I kind of forget. And so when I start bawling on here, then people will know this is real. This is real.
Yeah.
I don't cry too much when we're on the phone, but I'm definitely a crier. I'm not ashamed
That's good.
of my
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm good at blocking crying. Yeah. Well, maybe I'm just talking like that because I have been doing time challenges. So I'm like a hard ass right now.
I think that that's so cool because time challenges were one of the things that when I was trying to figure out finishing my book, I would, you know, you're just think you're going along doing your own thing, but then you Google every once in a while, how can I speed this up, you know? And they do a 30-day write a book in 30 days. Yeah, I tried to do that. I can't do it.
What's
is silly.
like a personal trainer for a not athlete? The other thing. I'm that.
Yeah, like a life
or, I don't
coach
know.
or
A jerk. the anti-art. Could you imagine making art and somebody's like, faster? You're like, no, you are a bad person. That is not how you make art.
Hey man, I watch those English channels. They make people do art and time challenges all the time. I watch the what is the English baking channel? That's the best one. But then they do I saw the same thing that was like the English they did glass blowing. Oh man, I was hooked. Do you ever watch
No.
those? Did you watch the English? Oh,
I don't like the accent. It's hard. It's hard to understand.
Everyone's accent.
Yeah, I have a little bit of a hard time with accents.
What about Nick's accent?
If I just start talking like this all the time, is it gonna make it harder for you to understand me?
Yeah, it's always hard. It's always hard. Well, it's not like I can't understand it, but I have to slow down my brain. And I get, like, impatient.
It's like, oh bloody hell! You get all
Oh,
Russell
bloody
Brand on
hell.
you for a moment, mate.
Yeah.
Start
No,
talking like
I can get used to somebody's.
talking like I'm not ever from here.
I'm grateful for everybody's accent. And yours, Lori, wherever you got it. Like, where did you get it? Where did you get it? You don't. Do you really not?
Wisconsin, obviously.
No, I kind of thought it would go away because I didn't even know I had one until I was working at a furniture store and I was in sales. So I went from social services, which is what my whole life goal was about, and then I went into sales and then I got instant feedback that they're like, "Are you from Minnesota?"
That's, yeah.
I'm like,
It is weird because my sister is very close in age to me, and she does like a Lauren, impersonation. Like but we're the same. We have the same genetic voice, but she can talk like Lauren.
She can talk
Yes.
like you? She does
Oh,
Lauren
yeah.
impersonations?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's horrific but
I'm-
hilarious, but it's terrible. It's very, yeah. But I can't do a Marine impersonation. Like, I can't. She'll even say, "Hey
Wow.
Alexa," like, "Who am I?" She'll even do my voice, and Alexa will be like, "Lauren." Yes,
Oh,
I swear.
that is awesome. but I don't know what if I can say. Okay, I don't know if this is nice or not, but I was watching parrot. They take African gray parrots and they make them talk to Alexa, and they think the parrot is a person. So I don't know if she's all that good or if Alexa's just.
No.
Okay,
my boss
maybe it was a
actually,
bad
like,
example.
Rescues exotic birds, and they do that.
It was just.
Yeah.
No,
What
birds
do they
can
do?
talk to Alexa.
Yeah.
For sure,
Yeah.
birds can talk to Alexa because
Yeah.
my boss like rescues exotic
Yeah.
birds, and even the ones they don't keep, like the rescue birds, they set their shit off and talk to it.
Anybody? Yeah, that's true.
Those are entertaining.
It's weird, like
I
all the
watched a
time.
few
My
of them.
boss will tell me all the time that they've got like 60,000 likes. It's a page called Ruffled Feathers, and they just show little videos of their birds.
I don't know how you can't love Nick's accent. Come on, like it's
Nick?
the best.
Yeah, I like Nick's voice.
Yeah. I when I went to India, I was only there for 3 weeks, but their accent, like even the way they bob their head back and forth, it only took me like 3 weeks, and I could tell I was parodying them.
Oh, sure.
Because I found myself in a very short period of time because everyone
Oh,
bobs
you're like
their
Madonna.
head.
So I
It
bet
was
you had
like,
a
I
teenage friend who was from Minnesota or something. Is there anybody?
Oh. Wow. But Lindsay Lohan got she raked across the coals when she went to India, and she came back and she had an Indian accent.
Yeah.
And like Madonna had the English accent, and people are like, they just get so mad. It happens, dude. You don't even know you're doing
if you
it.
do know you're doing it, it's just lending yourself a little bit more to that experience.
Well, it happens unconsciously, and when you kind of know you're doing it, you can kind of feel yourself, like the head bobbing thing. I was like, oh shoot, are they aware of that? Because I don't want to humiliate them, you know. It's like, you know, it's kind of uncomfortable. You're like, oh crap, I just went into your world for a second. I'll just
Do you
go
ever
back.
notice yourself
Sorry.
doing that with like me or people that you're talking to?
When I was in sales, it depends on how open I am. There was a period of time when I felt like I could quickly mirror somebody. It's not like I was trying, but I'm super susceptible to subconscious stuff. I've noticed this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's as minor as okay, when my son was like 5 or 6, and I was taking him to daycare, and I'm outside with the daycare lady, and she just gets done telling me this huge story about how she had to get her house de-anted. You know, like they had to spray the house for ants. And I'm totally in the story, empathizing. I'm eating on a freaking apple, right? And she just is going on about these ants. She's upset. She had to take apart a wall. I mean, it was a big deal. And
Yeah.
right when she's done, and I'm all crap, and I throw the apple core over in the corner, and she gave me the evilest look. I was like, wow, Lori, you just, like, I'm super susceptible to subconscious stuff. Like, I can get primed, and I'll instantly.
Me
it's just
too.
weird.
And it's fun.
Like-
I mean, do you wonder if part of it is like working in the service industry or being a waiter?
I just really, really was trying to be
Yeah.
open. And I was instantly feeling guilty. I'm like, you just told me that you were trying to get rid of things around your house for ants. But that's such a specific call to action. And I felt so guilty. I'm like, that is the most ridiculous thing I've ever done. And no, it's not. I've done way more ridiculous things. But I was super embarrassed. But I'm super primed to subliminal, for sure. I already know this about myself. Like, if somebody says something, I'll repeat it back. I mean, it's just, and it's almost instant.
I don't know. I do the same thing too. I wonder if, I don't know. I feel like part of it is growing up in the business. I do.
You think? I don't know. I think when we watch things, like I just don't think it's that hard to change who you are. I think we really have this hardcore idea that we're so we use the word wired. We use, we think that we're so rigid, and I think we're way more malleable than we think.
Yeah.
And spiritual teachers teach that all the time. Dr. Dispenza, he's a classic example. You can change yourself in a second. Like we were talking about grace and, these things when it comes to magic, but subliminal too. Watching certain YouTube channels over and over and over. You start talking like them or acting like them, and you just, crap, I should not do that,
Yeah.
You haven't
I
noticed that?
have noticed that. I was thinking about the word hardwired and remembering that I had a poem or a song that I said that word in, because I don't say that word often. Only recently
Do you have it
Only
right there?
recently as an adult can I even realize the word hardwired. Because you have to get old enough to
Yeah.
see.
Right. You have to have enough stuff. Or challenged, you just, usually it happens when you have kids. You're just trying so hard to be a particular type of mom. And then you mess up. And then you're like, I did not want to mess up right there.
Sure.
Yeah. And then you just think you're so, I don't know. Like, I've just really realized that reality is so fluid. And I don't think it's as hard to change what you're doing, especially when you decide that that's what you're doing. But I take that back. It's not even when you decide. Like, I hear these people talk online. It's like so hard. Once you finally decide, and I'm like, yeah, there's a lot of things that I've done that I'm aware of that were just purely on suggestion.
Yeah.
And I kind of wonder later, kind of go, wow, I'm super. I think our reality can be switched pretty easily. Didn't I tell you about that psychological study? This one is so weird. So they took a study of students. They're the high school students. And they were trying to convince them that they did something they didn't do.
Yeah.
Okay, so one of the ones was they used one gal that they were showing on the thing. So they took this gal in and they said, you stole someone's car. And she's like, no, I didn't. And they said, yeah. And they would bring up they would lead her into her vocabulary and what she could remember. By the time they were done, and it really only took 2 or 3 sessions, by the time they were done, she was convinced that she stole a car. And they could convince so easily and so quickly they had to stop the study. And then people couldn't tell the difference between whether they really did or didn't by the time they were done. I just think our reality is super fluid. I just don't think we can only become so aware. We don't freaking know what we're doing.
I think
most
it's
of the time.
there's a way to look at it that's kind of beautiful, that we need each other so bad like that. Like we trust each other in this way. That's kind of one way to look at it. That we're not really as independent. Like we are dependent on each other. It's kind of beautiful. It's kind of
Very lovely.
It's kind of beautiful.
See, look, you just did it. You're like, damn it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying
Yeah.
lovely. Lori just said lovely.
Yeah. Lovely.
Look, you
That's
pulled
like
back,
the
you're,
third
like,
time I've
almost
said
embarrassed.
lovely today. Didn't I say lovely earlier? Nick, that's enough of that.
Oh, yeah.
See, don't talk too mushy. People will turn it off. People won't listen if it's
especially
too
on
mushy.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I'm too grateful right now.
Yeah, can you just go into the 3? Can you be upset about something and like really
Yeah.
get mad so that people will watch our
Yes.
podcast or listen to our
Ugh.
podcast? Just get really
Oh,
mad.
I
about
saw the
something.
word loser. It's funny that we chose the word loser. The title was loser. Oh,
I really
isn't
love
that so cool?
That was really,
I was like, wow, that's actually a really cool message.
I'm glad you sang it because I'm gonna play this back and listen
Yeah.
to it again.
Yeah. That's kind of cool.
You know, I talk about this like giggle fest or like feeling so loving, like say the L word too much. But I noticed when I kind of came aware, I really learned like who jives with me and who doesn't, or like the way people respond. Like if you're if you're too happy, too giggly, too loving, you're only gonna, it's like half the brain. It's like only half the people are gonna enjoy you. Right off the bat, people are kind of set off. It's like, you know, you're totally faking it because like, what is so funny? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
What you just did right there?
In my experience so far with audiences, I've kind of noticed or decided that I'm kind of a take it or leave it kind of person. It's not like a group. I get these people that are like, wow, I really hear what you're saying and I really dig it. Or it's just like none. Like just nothing. Like just like, I don't know. Like just like as if I'm speaking Spanish.
Yeah. Well, I remember just just a simple thing. Like I went back home. I just came back away from my house, you know, like, you know, I have a tiny house and a garden so that's my world right now. And I would go home and I just am so appreciative and so loving about my area and what's happening. I love my garden. So I'm showing a family member, you know, my garden pictures and I'm just super excited, you know. Now I can, and she just was like, yeah, I don't like the fact that, you know, she wasn't saying out loud, but she doesn't like the fact that I'm in a tiny home. She doesn't garden. She thinks it's a waste of money. And I'm sitting here just going off about, no, I'm trying to connect with you. Like,
Yeah.
see all this lovely stuff? No, none of that is lovely. None of it.
Wow.
Yeah. What's, okay, now I feel awkward. 'Cause I
You
was
said
just
lovely
laughing.
again. Like, do we always say this word? Is this normal? Do people say this?
I just woke up in a really good mood.
yeah,
I
that
don't
is
know.
lovely.
Oh, you just want to bring it
No,
down?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't want to bring it down.
I should.
No,
though. I'll
don't. No,
I'll-
don't. It's
I just prefer this over, holy cow, like, oh my gosh. I get to cook and clean and get
That
ready
is
for
lovely.
Thanksgiving. And why not? I don't think you say lovely very much.
I do. I say it all the time. It's like
I'm not sure I've ever heard her say it or even noticed anyway, but said it a lot.
yeah,
know
Lauren's
you're
just
so
lovely. Lauren's
See, now you're being
No, I'm not. I
sarcastic.
am lovely. No, I was just I did say lovely today before you came.
Yeah.
So
Well, why not? Like, it's the way you described how appreciative you were of your friends and your
in
connection.
that context.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to take that back? What the heck did you just read or something? Because you are totally vibe is switching.
Sorry,
your
I did read
you're
something.
like-
I'm sorry.
What did
Something
you read?
gross. Like I was reading lyrics that we wrote before and Nick even came on the scene. And we said the word lovely.
No
yeah,
way.
I
Did you really? I was just
Yeah.
guessing. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh
yeah.
my gosh. Does that just mix with what we were just talking about or what?
Yeah,
It's
it
just
does.
Weird.
It's the chorus was we were talking about, we kind of painted this scenario where like it's kind of COVID and like catfishing like related. So his verse is like,
Okay.
I can't stand the days, can't stand the nights, can't stand this hotel lobby. I've anticipated being jaded. We were almost there. And then my verse is like, I'm done being patient with imaginations playing cops and robbers. Where does it end? Then, do I have to role play all your soulmates, honey, while you're leading me on? I love feeding you all or nothing, whether you're here or gone. And then the chorus is, I'm seeking for your human touch. Is it just lovely?
or just too much. I'm seeking for your human touch. Like, you know, like you paint a picture of what you think somebody's like, but you can't touch anybody. And especially now in Washington, you know, we're not allowed to touch people. Well, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, some of those, I don't know. Yeah, it is funny how quickly your mind can start wandering. Because I was thinking about some of your lyrics that you just said. Like your mind is playing cops and robbers.
Yeah, I guess so. What is cops and robbers anyway?
Trying to think what that would be. What that
Oh,
would
just like
feel like.
cat and mouse?
Is that just the? I don't know. It feels.
Principal
Is
and
that the
principal and
contrasting?
student? Yeah, it
Cops
means
and
like,
robbers would be black and white opposing forces.
yeah, catch and release. Like
Mm-hmm.
gotcha game.
Well, it's definitely not two people that like
Yeah.
each other.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not like a
What- It feels very much like someone is going after
Yeah.
somebody that doesn't
Yeah.
want to be caught. I guess if we're going to
unless one
expand
of them
that
always
out a
wants to
bit.
be the same.
Yeah. That's too cool.
Yeah. Holidays are pretty amazing. I feel very, very grateful.
Yeah,
This great
I wasn't sure if I was going to. I kind of got my feelings hurt. You know, this COVID thing. When I went to Kelly, my sister's last night, or a couple days ago, and I left, and she's like, yeah, it's just going to be our 3 little family. And I kind of was like, aw, I kind of got my feelings hurt. I'm like, you didn't invite
Yeah.
me. But it's just this. They're trying to be
illegal.
respectful. Washington is shut down. And yeah. So I wasn't sure how today was going to be. You know, I was thinking about going back to Montana, and my mom was like, yeah, come. I was like, no, I feel guilty. So
Hopefully soon we can film some stuff over here.
I know, I think I'm going to be over there
I
sooner
know.
than
I
you
think so too.
I really am.
So what are we grateful for? I feel so grateful for you guys.
Very much this morning. Very grateful for you, Nick. And I don't know you yet,
You
but
too. Both of you. Definitely.
yeah.
I'm going to say
Yeah, I'm
Lauren. I'm going to say Lauren for sure. Because I don't know. I feel like I've learned a lot from her. I feel like I've grown a lot since I've started talking to her.
Oh, thanks.
I'm going to go ahead and say my cat as well. Because, you know, she's a cat. She's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And, and just having, you know, just not being, I don't know, homeless or anything. Like, just being grateful for just having things, you know,
Yeah.
things that get overlooked.
Aw,
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot going on right now. Well, I appreciate this opportunity, and I enjoyed today. So I think I look forward to our next chat.
Yeah. Me too.
Me too, for sure. Yeah.
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 Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yeah. And I'm thankful for anyone who listens to this podcast. I really want to say that we're just a tiny little thing starting out. I just appreciate anyone taking the time to just
See it through. See it through with
listen
us.
all the way.
Or be with us.
Yeah. Yeah. I look forward to expanding our audience.
Ditto.
I just appreciate anybody
Yeah.
listening. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
Merry
guys.
Christmas.
New set of lungs.